Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Hit Up to Blackjack by Night. This is a puzzle that was sent to me probably a few weeks ago, and I actually tried it a few weeks ago, and I failed abysmally. I thought I did really well. Well, I can't say that. I really enjoyed the opening part of this puzzle, and then in the middle I crashed and burned, and I crashed and burned really hard. And I ended up getting some help from my testers, who also kind of crashed and burned really hard, and we ended up reaching out to Night, who provided some assistance on what we'd missed. And this sometimes happens with puzzles. And when we were shown what we'd missed, it was absolutely stunning. So what I've done is I've left it some time. So I've forgotten. I don't. I've mentioned this before. This is not a blind solve. That's fine for me. But I don't remember the exact flow of the puzzle. I remember kind of the steps that are involved sort of generally, but I don't remember it's like, well, this is going to be found in this cell and this is going to be found in this cell and everything. What I do remember is the trick that gets us unstuck. And when I get to that, I will call it out, because I think a lot of people who solve this may find the same thing. But when we were shown the trick, it was like, that is really, really cool. And I know a lot of people like seeing very cool tricks, and this puzzle has one. So I did want to bring this puzzle to the channel. I thought it was very, very cool. And there were steps in this I really loved. It was just that one bit in the middle, which caused me to just get completely stuck. And, you know, that happens to the best of us. And me as well. I am not the best of us by a long stretch. So let's have a look at Hit Up to Blackjack by Night. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have killer cages. In this puzzle, all of the killer cages must sum to 21, hence the title Hit Up to Blackjack. Digits cannot repeat within cages. So that's what we have. We also have entropic lines in this puzzle. So along these beige lines, any set of 3 digits that we grab will have a low digit from one, which is 1, 2, or 3, a middle digit, which is 4, 5, or 6, and a high digit, 7, 8, 9. And it doesn't matter which 3 digits we grab along any of these lines, that must be true. So those 3 digits, one must be low, one must be medium, one must be high. Those 3 digits, one must be low, one must be medium, one must be high. Those 3 digits. It will hold true across all of the lines. So they're the rules. Let's give this a shot. So I don't remember if I started with Killer or with Entropic, but this time I'm going to start with Entropic. So we know we can color the entropic banding a little bit, and we can highlight every third cell the same color. And the reason for that is, if I was to say, I'm going to use the normal coloring and I don't remember what they are. So I'm literally going to go blue, green, and yellow, because they're the normal colors I use. If this is a set of blue, green, and yellow, because one is going to be low, one is going to be middle, one is going to be high, but this is also a set of blue, green, and yellow, then I've already got my green and yellow, and this has to be blue. But this 3 has to be a set of blue, green, and yellow, and I've already got my yellow and my blue, so this has to be green. And this is going to be continuing with every third cell being the same color. So this, all have to be blue. This, and this all have to be green, and this, and this all have to be yellow. Now, I don't know whether they are low, medium, or high, but I do know they all have to be the same thing. Now, in here, I do know that this is going to contain 1 of each, but I've already got 2 blue and 2 yellow. So in here, I'm going to get my 3rd blue and I'm going to get my 3rd yellow. So this is going to have to be green. And this is where I say I have solved this before, but I do not remember any of this opening logic at all. So I'm really doing this. I'm not doing it for the first time, but I am having to solve it again. What I remember is the trick. That's the bit of this puzzle I remember. Okay, in this row, I've got 3 green, I've got 3 blue, so this has to be yellow. In this column, I've got 3 green and 3 yellow, so this has to be blue, whatever they are. So now I've got one of each here and one of each here, so this is going to be one of each, but I don't know yet what they are. Now this is a 21 cage with only 3 cells in it. And so a 21 cage, if I was to have even 2 medium digits, 5 and 6, they only sum to 11. And if I was to then try and get to 21, I would need to have a 10, and I can't do it. So whatever these are, one of them must be high, one of them must be medium, and this is going to be a high digit. Now, I can't say what color it is, but I do know that these are going to be low and medium now. But if this is high, 1, 2, 3, this is high. Whoops, where did I get the C from? Why am I in letter mode all of a sudden? Why do I end up in letter mode? I don't understand. Anyway, these are high digits. Can I determine which of these is high? I know, well, it means that these are low, because this is a medium and a high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my blue and I'm going to change it to, say, purple. And then I'm going to grab my green and I'm going to change it to blue, because I know that these are all low. Because blue is my normal low color. And I'm actually going to change this to a different color as well. Let's change this to a grey so I can make these two yellow. Now I need to put a blue on here. Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe I can do something here now, because I've got the same thing every third cell. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 will be, and this is where I find colouring tricky, because I end up using lots of colours and I have trouble. So this is 2 of everything, so this has to be medium. So this is 4, 5, 6. Because I've got one of each and one of each. These can't be low. So this can't be low and it can't be high, because I've already got, okay, yeah, I don't remember this at all. So I've got one of everything here and one of everything here. So I've already got 2 lows in here. This is the third low. So this can't be low and it can't be high because it's already next to a high. So this is medium. I'm reusing colors. I don't know that this is medium. So let's get rid of that. Oh, I'm running out of colors. But 1, 2, 3, this is 4, 5, 6. So these are all 1, 2, 3. And I know that those are blue. I'm just going to uncolor those so I can get my green back. Or do I... And this has to be high, 7, 8, 9. So that becomes yellow. Can I do anything more with this? Well, I've got the same restriction down here. I can never put a low digit into one of these cages. And because these are different, this has to be high. This is 7, 8, or 9 and becomes high. I'm going to have the same thing here. This is 7, 8, 9 and becomes high. The same trick applies in all of these. These are 2 different. This has to be high. And these are 2 different. This has to be high. And this has to be the low, because this, I can't put a low into a 3-cell 21 cage. So orange becomes low. I just had to remember to reuse the same trick. And this becomes low. And now I've used lots of lows. So this can't be low. This can't be low. That maps to there, that maps to there. This becomes low. This can't be low or high. That is medium, and it's 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. That becomes 4, 5, 6, and both of those are 7, 8, 9. That becomes green. Those become yellow. This is now between medium. Wait a minute. No. Is that an incorrect medium? Why have I flagged that as medium? Because it can't be low because of the 1, 2, 3, and it can't be high because of these 7, 8, 9s. This is medium. These are all 4, 5, and 6. So these have to be high. So red becomes yellow, and these are 7, 8, 9. This is a green. Can I carry it back into this? Yes, purple has to be medium because of 7, 8, 9. So purple becomes green, and these are 4, 5, 6, and grey becomes yellow and is 7, 8, 9. This is green. Now, how do I continue this? This is green. I have some coffee. This has to be a medium and a high. So if this is a medium and a high, I can't put a low next to a low, but I need to put another low somewhere in here. So this becomes the low. So there's a thing that happens with a lot of entropic and modular puzzles where you end up with this what is it? Isoentropic in one direction and fully entropic in the other diagonal direction. And it seems to be that this is happening with this puzzle, but you can't assume it because it is possible. Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards explained it to me one time. It is possible to break the pattern sort of in these cells. So I'm not going to assume it, but it is possible that this puzzle does have that full pattern. You'll see a lot of puzzles. It's kind of like some puzzles with full symmetry will end up with GSP or anything. A lot of puzzles that aim for lots of entropy and stuff will end up with this pattern. I don't know if there's a formula or anything about it. It's the 5 in the middle principle. We don't have a 5 in the middle of this. Anyway, what about this 21 cage? Because that's 2 low digits. The maximum those can be is 5. So these would have to be, that could still be medium if it was a 6. Because I could go 2, 3. These would then have to sum to, hang on, they'd have to sum to 16. So I couldn't use a 6. This would have to be a 7, 9. So this has to be high. Now let me use the calculator to check this. I need to use 2 low digits. So I can't use 1479, I can't use 1569, can't use 15. I'm basically eliminating any option that doesn't have 2 low digits. Yeah, I have to use 2 low and 2 high. So this has to be high in order to make the math work. This is 7, 8, 9. That gives me my 3 highs in this. Gives me my 3 highs in the column. And my 3 mediums. Because one of these is medium, one of these is high. This has to be low. Because I've got 1, 2, 3 mediums, 1, 2, 3 highs. This right here is low. These are all low because of the row. This is a low and a medium, and I've got 3 mediums in the column. This is low. So this is medium. This is holding true. It's not forced. I mean, at this point it might be, but I'm not going to use that. It's the same as not using uniqueness. Until it's proved, I'm not going to use it. In here, I've got 2 mediums and 1 high. Can't put the high there because I've already got 3 highs in the row. So that's a medium. So there's a medium and a high in here. Not sure. This is a 5 cell 21 cage, which must have 2 lows in it. By definition, again, I'm using the killer calculator. So I don't know how that helps me. I've got a low and a medium in here. In here, I've got only that cell there. Sees 3 lows, sees 3 highs. That is medium. In here, I've got a low and a medium, which will fill my lows and mediums, so that becomes high. That fills my highs for the column. This is a low and a medium. This is a low and a medium, and I've got all the mediums in the column. This becomes the low. This becomes the medium. This is a medium and a high. This is a low and a medium. There's no lows in any of these. Is it this entropic line? Because these are all medium and high. So these two are the same. I'm definitely using the knowledge that I remembered I could do pretty much all of the entropic colouring at the start. These are all low and... Right. I can't put a medium on this entropic line because I've got 3 mediums here. So they can't contain mediums. So that becomes medium. So this is low or high. I need to put a medium in one of those. This is low and high. This is low and high. Hang on a minute. I've got to put 2 lows in those. And a medium. It's one of each in here. That can't be the low. So that's medium or high. That can't be the medium. So that's low or high. These are low and medium. So we know that this and this are the same. And we know this and this are the same. Does that help? This now becomes red because this is going to complete whatever. I've still got to put a purple and a red up here, but I don't know. Hang on, I've got 2, 2. Purple and... No, I don't put a purple and a red up here. I put a low and a green. Oh, hang on. In here, I've now got 2 mediums. So I can remove any option that doesn't use 2 mediums. 1389, no. 1479, no. 1578, no. 2379, no. 2478, no. I need to use a low in this cage. There needs to be a low in a 21 cage. There just needs to be a 4-cell 21 cage. So this becomes low. That's the trick. This now becomes high, which is 789. I've now got all 3 lows in this row. I don't know if this colouring is going to help. But this is now high. That's got to do something, right? 3 lows in this row. That can't be low anymore. This is the low for the box. So this is the medium. Nope. This is the medium for the box. I'm now going to uncolor these. I may want them back, but this is now high to complete everything. This can't be low. I need to put another low in the box, but I've got 3 in the column. So this becomes the medium, 4, 5, 6, and this becomes the 1, 2, 3, which is the low. Needed to use the killer. Now, still have work to do. These now have all of the mediums. So this is a low and a high. So this is low and high. This is medium and high. And this is low and medium. Well, that's... So if this is medium and high, this is medium and high. No, this is wrong. I've got all the highs. This is not high, this is low. This is medium and high. So this is medium and high. This is medium and high. How do I narrow that down? This is such a tricky puzzle. Even having done it before, I really don't remember what I'm doing. I mean, as I said, this banding trick. I remember when I first solved it, like a minute in going, this looks like it's going to have the banding. It's like, but you do need to prove it. So this is low and high. It has to have a low and a high, but that's true in a 4-cell cage. If this is low, could I put, I could put 2 lows, but then I need 2 highs and these would both be medium. That would be fine. If this is medium and this is low, this is low. No, yeah, this is low. This is high. And this would be medium. This would be medium. Hang on, if this is medium, to make the cage work, if this is medium, this becomes low. This then becomes high, so this becomes low. I've got a low and a high. And once I've got a low and a high, I need 2 mediums. To make the cage work. So these would be medium, that would be medium, and I'd have 4 mediums in the row. That can't be medium. That is low. One of those is medium, not both. So that is medium. This is low. Now I've got 2 lows, so that has to be high. Which means that has to be high. These have to be medium. This now has to be high. that makes this medium, and this now becomes the low because of the row, and this becomes the high to finish everything off. And that eventually proved that this is banded. Now, you may say, I just remembered that from the first solve and everything. I did feel that this was probably going to have that because it's been a topic I've been discussing a bit recently. But you end up getting this entropic banding, and it's taken me how long to get here? Over 20 minutes. But it's a really cool exercise to get here with this layout, and being able to build it into the puzzle was stunning. Now, this is where this gets really tricky. And at this point, there are some things I remember, and I'm basically going to show you those because, yeah, I do remember this. If you've gotten to this point and you're stuck, feel free to pause the video and try and work it through or whatever. This is definitely a bit where, yeah, some tricky stuff coming up. Okay, so the first thing, if you look at a 4-cell 21 cage with 2 low and 2 high digit, you can't use a 1-2, because if you use a 1-2, these would have to sum to 18 and you can't do it. So there must be a 3 in here. So this can't have a 3 in it. This becomes a 1-2. The same is true down here. This cannot not have a 3 in it, otherwise you can't get to 21. So there's a 3 in here. There is no 3 in here. This becomes a 1-2. Now, there's some more stuff, and I've got to remember what it is. I think it's around this cage. I can eliminate any option that doesn't have 2 lows, 2 mediums, and a high. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 doesn't work. Is that the only one? It's possible. Trying to remember what comes next, because I'm trying to remember this because this is really tricky. I got very, very stuck. So what we can do, and I'm actually going to get rid of all of this entropic coloring at this point, is we can start looking at placement of digits in the grid using this cage. So for example, let's look at this cell and ask ourselves, where does this digit go in this box? Because this cannot be this 1, 2, 3 because it would repeat in the cage, and it can't be that one because it would repeat in the column. So yellow is there, and the only 1, 2, 3 that it could possibly be is that one in box 2. We then can continue it for other 1, 2, 3s. Where does this 1, 2, 3 go in down here? Well, it can't be yellow, and it can't be that one. So this becomes blue, and then this becomes blue. And then these 1, 2, 3s are the same thing. Let's call them green. So I'm just going to use green, yellow, and blue, but I'm going to have a blue 1, 2, 3 and a green 1, 2, 3 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do the same for 4, 5s, and 6s. Where does this digit, let's call this one a yellow 4, 5, 6, go in this box? Well, it can't repeat in the cage, and it can't repeat in the column. So this is the yellow 4, 5, 6. This 4, 5, 6, I have to work up now. Let's call this the green 4, 5, 6. This can't be either of those because it's not yellow and it can't be in the same column. So this becomes the green 4, 5, 6, and therefore this is the green 4, 5, 6, and the other 4, 5, 6s we will, yellow, yellow, this becomes the yellow 4, 5, 6 because of the columns, and the other 4, 5, 6s all become blue. Now, because we know that these are the same, this cannot be a 3 because this, and this are the same digit, and that can only be a 1 or a 2. So we can take 3 out of there. We know that there must be a 3 in the yellow-green, and these are yellow and green. So there must be a 3 in those. So this cage must contain a 3. Now, what that does for us, a bit limited at the moment, but we do get this 1, 2 pair. So we get a 3 over here. And I remember spending a very long time trying to figure out what that 3 did for me. And it wasn't as much as I might have thought. Now, and I'll be honest with you, this is where I basically needed a lot of help. Where am I going? So once we put a 3 into here, And as I said, this is almost running off a script for just this bit of the solve because I got so stuck. Once we put a 3 into a 4 cell 21 cage, it also must have a 9. That is just part of the math. So if you do 3 1, it's with 8 9. If you do 3 2, it's with 7 9. So in order to just make it work, you need the 3 and you need the 9. The same is true here. This needs a 9. So there is no 9 here and there is no 9 here. Now, you may be wondering why I stopped mapping colors when I got to the 7, 8, and 9. And the reason I did that is because there is no communication across these boxes like there was with the 1s, 2s, and 3s. Like this could not repeat within the cage or column, so I was able to map these 1, 2, 3s. I can't do the same with 7, 8, 9. This 7, 8, 9 could be either of those or either of those. This 7, 8, 9 could be either of those or either of those. There's no communication across those boxes. And when I got to here, this is, I think, where I spent like 25 minutes just going, I don't know what to do. And here's where the trick comes in. So, this is a 1, 2. This must be a different 1, 2. It can't be the same digit as that one. It just has to be different. Now, what we know is this is a 21 cage and this is a 21 cage. 4, 5, and 6 are blocked. They're always going to sum to 15. So we have 21 plus 15 in all of those cells that I've highlighted, leaving those cells having to sum to the same thing. Except these 1s and 2s are different. And if these 1s and 2s are different, but these have to sum to the same thing, those 7s and 8s must be different. They cannot be the same digit. Otherwise, you would end up with 7 plus 2 plus 21 plus 15 having to equal the same as 7 plus 1 plus 21 plus 15. Doesn't work. They must be different digits. And I did not find that at all. Because once those are different digits, neither of those can be 7 or 8, and they must be 9s. I did not find that. And if you had trouble with that, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Once we put a 9 into this case, and now we should be able to do a bit more with Sudoku. There is no 9 in here, and I really don't remember. I'm now trying to figure this out. There's no 9 in this cage. Okay, where am I looking? There is no 9 here. We now know there is a 9 in this cage. So there can't be a 6 in this cage. Because if it was 6, it would have to go with 7, 8 in order for the total to work. There's no 9 here. There is a 9 in this cage. So with a 9 in this cage, this can't be a 6. There's no 9 in either of those. There's no 9 here. So there is a 9 in this cage, which means, of course, this can't be a 6. There's a 4, 5 pair here. So this becomes a 6, which means this is a 7, 8. There's no 6 here. There's no 6 in either of those. This is, I still found this tricky Sudoku, but that 1, 2, 7, 8 trick, it broke the back of this. I just need to now solve the tricky Sudoku. Beautiful puzzle. I love that trick so much. I didn't find it. What am I looking at? So this 9, I think it could still be anything. 7, 8 pair, of course, makes this 9, which doesn't do much. There is a 9 in here. Could be colouring the 1s, 2s, but I don't think so. Didn't remember needing that much colouring after I broke this open. Oh, I'm not doing a great job of demoing this. Wow. Maybe I do need to color sevens and eights. I'm going to get rid of that. So this would be one color. This would be a different color. This would be red. So this would be purple. This would be red. This would be purple. So I'd put a red in here, but that doesn't really help. Where do I cross this over? How do I get down here? Or into here? I don't remember doing this colouring, but I'm not... Wow. Okay. So I know that purple is in here and red is in here, which doesn't tell me anything about that. Purple is in here and purple is in here, but that just proves red is in here, which I already knew. This cage? I know there's a 3 in it. There's no 9 in it. It's possible when I was finally shown this trick, I just was so happy I don't even remember what I did. Um, we know that these ones and twos are different, but I don't have a lot of communication about those either. Wow, this is really terrible of me. Nine, 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 nine. I did not remember needing colouring like this at this point. So this cage, it's got to be 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. 1, 3, 4, 6. So there's 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. There must be a 4 in one of these. So there's no 4 in blue. So there's no 4 in blue. So this can't be 4. I should have removed 6 from here before. So there's no 6 here either. And blue becomes 5. If this is 5, then this is not. This is 7, 9. There's no 5 in either of those. There's no 5 in either of those. There's no 5 in either of those. This is 4, 6, which means it's 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. This is the 7. This is the 8. There's no 8 here. There's no 7 here. There's no 7 here. There's no 7 here. This 7 makes this 9 and this 7, and that's going to break everything open. 8 and 7. This makes this 8 and makes this 9. With 8 and 9, this becomes 4, which works. There's no 4 here. There's no 5 here. So what is this? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, but I can't put 5 in here. So this is 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. So there's no 2 in here. So blue is 2. So blue 5 is done. Blue 2 is done. Green is not, this is not 5. 4 or 6. These are not 2. These are not 2. These are not 5. This 7 makes this 8, which makes this 7, which makes this 9, which makes this 8, which works for the 1, 3. 1, 3, 4, 6, all of that works. So 1, 3, 8, 9. All of this colouring now feels redundant, because as soon as I resolve any of it, I'm going to get the rest of it. Now, let's look and see what I've got. 1, 2, 3. There's no 2 here. There's no 2 here. This 2 makes this 1. There's no 1 here. There's no 1 here. There's no 8 here. There's no 8 here. There's no 9 here, but there needs to be a 9 in this cage. And that's going to resolve all the 9s, because that now has to be the 9. This becomes the 8. 8 and 9 goes with 4, which makes this the 5, which makes this the 7. 7 looks across, making this 8. This is 7 because of this 9. This 8 makes this 7, which looks up making this 8. This is 8. This is 7. I think I've now done most of the high digits. This 4 makes this 6, which makes this 5. The 6 look up making this 4. The 5 looks across making this 6. There's so many different ways of scanning this. It is, yeah. So there's no 4 in either of those. This is 6 because of that 4. So this is 5, which looks down making this 4, and this 5, which looks back making this 6, and this 5, which looks over making this 4, and this 6. This 6 looks up making this 4, so this becomes 6, which makes this 4. This 4, 6 is resolved by the 4 in the column. This becomes 6, or I could have used the 4 in the box. You know, either would have done. This 6 makes this 4, so this becomes 5. These are now 18, so this has to be 3, which means this is 1 and this is 2, which makes this 1, this 3, this 2, and now I can really just jump all over the place making this work. This becomes 3. This is not 2 or 3, this is 1. The 8 makes this 7. This is not 1. This is not 1. There's no 3 here. This 3 makes this 1, which makes this 2, which makes this 3, which makes this 2, which makes this 3. This 8 looks up making this 9. The 3 looks across making this 1, which looks across making this 2, or up into the box making this 3. The 2 makes this 1, which jumps down making this 3, which takes 3 out of here. This 1 looks down making this 3, which makes this 1. The 1 looks across making this 2 and jumps down making this 1. And that is the solution to hit up to Blackjack by Ninite. This is tricky. I failed this puzzle almost this time as well. Really tricky puzzle. Possibly one of the hardest I've brought for a while. But I thought the tricks in it were very, very clever. The way the entropic was revealed was very cool. The way that this cage in box 5 and 8 was able to cause you to be able to do some mapping of digits, and then the way that the 1-2s with the totals and the 4-5-6s not contributing to any cages forced these to be different digits. Yeah, beautiful if you found it. And I really wanted to make it available to people who couldn't. So what I don't agree with is this being called out as a 3-star puzzle on Logic Masters Germany. I just don't understand people who rated this as 3 stars. I saw some people. No, I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, I don't know if it's people just rating lower because it makes them look better or feel better. I just don't understand how this is a 3-star puzzle to anyone. Yeah, considering the people who I asked for help with this puzzle and they couldn't solve it, some of what I consider to be some of the better solvers in the world. Yeah, names that names that get mentioned on Cracking the Cryptic as phenomenal solvers could not spot that. Yeah, oh well. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you're enjoying everything. I hope you're enjoying the Sudoku problem series. It's been a lot of fun to do, and I'm still trying to work through all the submissions I've got. Hope you're enjoying the puzzles, and as always, good luck with your solving.